Good morning and welcome to the May 25th Assembly Appropriations Committee hearing. Noting the current absence of quorum, will begin as a subcommittee. I'd like to announce that although he's not here yet, Assemblymember McCarty is covering for Assemblymember Bonilla today. And we'll start with Mr. Gomez. Mr. Gomez is going to be presenting on AB 1671. It enjoys a due pass recommendation.
Thank you. I'm presenting AB 1671, which would close a loophole in current law providing the intentional disclosure of any wire transfer, oral, or electronic confidential communication obtained without the consent of all parties. We have taken amendments to significantly narrow the bill. And since this is appropriation, I'll just mention that the bill doesn't have a lot of cost. It's approximately $29,000 per year. With that, I ask for a B roll call when the time is appropriate. And I have a couple of witnesses next to me from the sponsor of the bill, Planned Parenthood.
Good morning, Christina Romero, Planned Parenthood Affiliates of California, representing over 151 clinics. AB 1671 would make it a crime to distribute electronic communications of healthcare providers that were illegally obtained without a person's consent.
Beth Parker, I'm here also with Planned Parenthood Affiliates of California as Chief Legal Counsel. I'm just here to answer questions.
Additional speakers in support? Speakers in opposition? You're going to have 2 minutes each. You can come up to the table. Two of you.
Members of the committee, Nikki Moore with the California Newspaper Publishers Association here in opposition. I can speak more broadly on the policy issues if you'd like, but suffice to say that we think that this is not closing a loophole, it is criminalizing speech. The distribution of speech, the Supreme Court has said, is speech. And this criminalizes it, and it makes the jobs that newspaper reporters...
I'm going to ask today, because we're going to try to get through this, to only discuss the fiscal issues in the bill, because obviously it's been through the policy committee.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, so then I'd like to say that the analysis doesn't note that this creates two crimes. We think that increases the fiscal cost of the bill, and also because it is unconstitutional, we think it will be subject to litigation, and the analysis also doesn't account for that.
Madam Chair and members, Terry Thomas on behalf of the Motion Picture Association of America. Our members are the leading producers of motion pictures and all sorts of audiovisual works, and our member companies' affiliates also produce news, entertainment news, and sports programming. We are also opposed to this bill on policy grounds, although I would obviously respect the desires of the chair, but this version of the bill has not been reviewed by a policy committee. We are opposed on policy grounds, but we do also think that the analysis points out that one incarceration would be $39,000, and we believe there's no way of knowing, because of the limits of the new bill, how many people would be prosecuted. So we think it could be a suspense candidate. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to take a minute to establish quorum.
Gonzalez.
Present.
Bigelow. McCarty. Bonta. Calderon. Chang. Daly. Eggman. Gallagher. Garcia. Hernandez. Holden. Jones. Obernolte. Quirk.
Here.
Santiago. Wagner. Weber. Wood.
All right, we've established quorum.
Second.
There's a motion by Dr. Wood, a second by Mr. Santiago, and now we will go. I think we're going to finish the opposition, and then we'll go to speakers. Thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Shane Gusson on behalf of the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, also opposed to the bill on policy grounds, even with the recent amendments.
Maddie Hyatt from the California Civil Liberties Advocacy, in strong opposition on both fiscal and policy grounds.
We are, any other speakers in opposition? Department of Finance?
Mark Monroe, Department of Finance, no file.
We're going to move to comments from the committee. Mr. Wagner.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I appreciate the urge to move quickly through these matters because all of them are important to be heard and heard fully. I will note this committee has killed bills on policy grounds in the past, mine in particular just 2 weeks ago, but be that as it may, let me ask a couple of questions. As to the fiscal issues at play here, the opposition tells us there is a fiscal component to this because, of course, the state is going to have to defend what it considers to be unlawful unconstitutional legislation, and I'd like that issue to be explored a little bit more fully. Unconstitutional in what way and in what sense, would the state have to defend against some charges that we hear? Also, and if you could explain the differences between the bill as it went through policy committee and as it now has hit fiscal committee, and why that may or may not increase the fiscal cost of the bill.
So the bill as it went through the policy committees was much broader. It has been narrowed to only affect communications between healthcare providers. And what we think that does is make it a content-based restriction subject to strict scrutiny. And we think that it is facially unconstitutional. And so that means that the day that the bill is passed, it could be challenged. If it's applied to any of our members, we would certainly litigate that issue, and to the extent that it has a chilling impact on newsrooms and news reporting and perhaps uncovering fraud in the state, I think that could have a fiscal impact as well, but I don't know how much the litigation would cost.
Any other questions? I want to thank the author. I know we worked hard on this. I appreciate the opposition. I've had similar concerns. I don't think this is content-based restriction. It doesn't say what type of discussion. It just says in the role of a healthcare provider, which we have a lot of laws to protect privacy when we talk about healthcare providers. So I want to thank. I know this was a long trip through appropriations. I'm hopeful that we can move this on and be in a better place. Would you like to close, Mr. Gomez?
Yeah, I think the opponents bring it up, but there's definitely a difference the way we do analysis and appropriations between static and dynamic. Basically, it's a direct cost to the state, not what might be a cost to the state in the future. That's why we don't say, hey, this bill is going to save us money in the future, but it's going to cost us $1 billion now. So that's not the way we make the decisions if something goes on suspense or not. So I ask for a B roll call. Thank you so much.
I was hoping we'd come up with something different, but you got your B roll call. Ms. Brown, you are going to present on AB 2181 and is a suspense candidate.
Madam Chair and members, AB 2181 establishes California Green Infrastructure Program to encourage state procurement of building materials from California companies. For instance, procuring steel that's manufactured in California rather than in Asia will reduce the GHG about 145,000 tons because of the stricter emissions requirements in California and the shortened distances that we would have to travel to get to those state construction sites. Companies that manufacture and ship building materials in California should not be overlooked for infrastructure projects that will help us to reduce emissions. I know that this is going to suspense, and I'm hoping that you will consider it as it goes through. And let's give California businesses California business. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there speakers in support? Speakers in opposition? Department of Finance?
No file.
Seeing no questions, thank you. Ms. Brown, would you like to, we'll take that as your close.
Well, you know what? As he said, no file, that means that you could very easily pass this. Thank you. Out of suspense. Thanks.
I see Mr. Gray. Mr. Gray, you are presenting on AB 2373. Enjoys a 2-pass recommendation.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members. AB 2373 appropriates $45,000 to Merced Irrigation District to provide water and irrigation assistance.
Move the bill.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Eggman, a second by Mr. Quirk.
It's a good bill, members. It assists the large Southeast Asian refugee population in my district. A lot of farming families who support their families or make extra income on small communal farms, and this gives some technical assistance from the irrigation district. Good public policy, and I would respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Speakers in support.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Justin Fanzel on behalf of the Merced Irrigation District. We're here to support this. I'm a member. We appreciate this. We're able to guide and provide a little assistance to these small minority poor farmers, but without these resources, there's very little they can do to implement management of their groundwater systems, and this would be very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any speakers in opposition? Department of Finance? Seeing no comments, would you like to close?
Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
This bill passes with Republicans not voting. I do want to announce that AB 2304 has been pulled by the author. Ms. Lopez. You are presenting on AB 1876. It enjoys a due pass recommendation. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. First, I want to thank you, the committee, for working with my staff on this bill. Today, I present AB 1876, which offers high school equivalents to exam in Vietnamese. Currently, California offers the exam English, Spanish, and recently have offered the GD in French. The cost is going to be minor for the state, and respectfully ask for your aye vote.
We have a motion by Mr. Quirk and a second by Dr. Wood. Speakers in support. Speakers in opposition. Department of Finance?
No file.
Seeing no Mr. Quirk has a question.
Why was Vietnamese chosen rather than Chinese or another language? Spanish and English are obvious, but why Vietnamese?
We make a survey in my area, and Vietnamese is the second language higher in demand.
Thank you.
You have a question? Okay. So thank you. I know we made that change here based on not the overall population, but English learners in our schools. So thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Lopez, would you like to close?
Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
And that gets out on a B roll call. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Quirk with AB 1957. Mr. Quirk, you enjoy a due pass recommendation.
Thank you.
We have a motion by Dr. Wood, a second by Mr. Holden.
All right. Since this is a fiscal committee, I'll only make just two comments. One is there's no state cost, and the second is that this bill would require release of body-worn camera footage by addressing four major points. It allows the local governing board to view body camera footage in closed session. Allows a judge, if there's official prosecution, to decide on the release protocol of the footage. If prosecution is not pursued, then footage will be released after 60 days. Finally, footage that relates to crimes of domestic violence, crimes that include minors, and statements of witnesses at the scene of the crime will not be released for public viewing. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there speakers in support?
Yes, California Civil Liberties Advocacy, Maddie Hyatt, and strong support. I'll try to address the fiscal implications. It's hard to do that without talking about the policy implications a little bit, because requiring police officers to wear body cameras in the first place is supposed to enhance public trust and accountability. And we feel that the implementation of body cameras throughout the state will constitute a tremendous waste if the state legislature adopts policies that only create more red tape and procedural barriers that inhibit the public's access to the footage. And so we strongly support this measure because we feel that that's exactly what it does. It increases the public's access to body camera footage, and therefore it wouldn't be a waste. So we strongly recommend a aye vote.
Additional speakers in support? Speakers, you're in support?
Nikki Moore with the Newspaper Publishers Association. We're not quite to a support position yet. We see a few tweaks needed, but we think this is a really good bill. Thanks.
Speakers in opposition?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Sean Hoffman with the California District Attorneys Association. Primarily opposed on policy grounds, but we would note that since the bill doesn't only apply to prospective cases, there would be a significant cost associated with going back and potentially making footage from cases 5, maybe 10 years old subject to the PRA.
Department of Finance?
No file.
See no comments. This gets out on a B roll call with Mr. Hernandez voting no.
Thank you.
We now have Mr. Garcia is going to present on behalf of Mr. Ridley Thomas, AB 2280, which enjoys the due pass recommendation.
Good morning. I will present AB 2280, but I won't attempt to impersonate him. I won't do that. On behalf of Assemblymember Ridley Thomas, I would like to present AB 2280.
We have a motion by Mr. McCarty, a second by Ms. Eggman.
The bill would require the California Housing Finance Agency to provide participating parties with notice if the agency makes any changes to eligibility requirements for a housing or lending program. Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Speakers in support? Any speakers in opposition? Department of Finance?
We currently have no position on this bill, but we just note that we don't think there'd be any additional costs because CalHFA's practices already provide as much notice as possible.
Thank you. This gets any questions? No. This gets out on an A roll call with Mr. Bigelow and Mr. Wagner voting no.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we have speakers in opposition to a suspense bill, which the author has waived presentation on. It's AB 2395, Mr. Lowe. He is not here, but we will let the opposition have 2 minutes. Two people will get 2 minutes to speak to the subject of the financial considerations of this bill, and come on up. While they're getting settled, I want to remind folks that Mr. McCarty is here today on behalf of Assemblymember Bonilla. He has become our permanent substitute in this committee. All right.
Madam Chair, committee members, thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Tom Runyon, and I'm from the Communications Workers of America District 9. We represent members in California, Nevada, and Hawaii, approximately 50,000 members here in the Golden State. I want to make clear that CWA fully supports public policies that encourage investment in high-speed internet networks. CWA acknowledges that we are in the midst of a major transition in communications technology, moving from legacy circuit switch to internet protocol networks. This transition promises many benefits, but only if we continue to protect the core values of our communications policy and universal service, consumer protection, public safety, and competition. Unfortunately, AB 2395, as currently drafted, abandons these values. The amendments do not address the major problems with the bill. That is why CWA opposes AB 2395 and urges you to place and hold AB 2395 on suspense. AB 2395 will leave many consumers and communities with only one choice for communications. Without competitive choice, consumers will see rates go up, services and innovation go down. AB 2395 will not just be bad for the consumer. It will likely result in the elimination of many good jobs in California. AB 2395 would allow AT&T to withdraw landline service and would eliminate CPUC oversight of service quality, which requires adequate staffing. Taken together, these changes will likely result in significant job loss for telecommunications
You have 30 seconds more.
I'm sorry? 30 seconds. Well, let me cut to this. Let me give you a sense of what could happen. Imagine this scenario, one that is taking place right now in the state of Nevada. A similar bill was approved in 2013, and the company has just petitioned for the PUC of Nevada to withdraw its service in the entire state. The PUC of California would not be able to react if such a thing were to happen here. This legislation is bad for consumers, bad for workers, bad for California. We don't want to see any communities without access to the 21st century after withdrawal of legacy service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Second speaker in opposition.
Thank you, Madam Chair and committee members. I'm Regina Costa. I'm the Telecommunications Policy Director for TURN, the Utility Reform Network. We oppose on both fiscal and policy grounds. As Mr. Runyon has just pointed out, in the state of Nevada, AT&T just moved to withdraw service from its entire area, and that would place a very difficult burden on the CPUC. This bill ties the CPUC hands to a 120-day drop-dead deadline, where if it does not complete its review, the withdrawal of service is automatically approved. We don't think the CPUC is capable of doing that. We note the fiscal analysis says that they would require significant resources to attempt it. The second impact is that customers have the right to challenge a decision that says there is an alternative service available. The alternative service is tied to 4 very limited criteria that are much less than existing service. So customers will be calling the CPUC to ask, why can't I get my voice lifeline service? Why am I being told I need a backup battery or my service may die during a power outage? Why, if I am a Spanish-speaking person and someone gave me marketing literature in Spanish, do they not provide me customer service in Spanish? Do they not provide a contract in Spanish? Do they not explain to me in Spanish the terms and conditions of my service? This bill does not have that requirement, and they lose that right under this bill. There are many, many problems with this bill. It is bad for Californians. We know you don't deal in speculation, but the reality is every single customer that's affected by this can call the PUC. The PUC has to respond to them, and the answer will be, after investigating, our hands are tied, we cannot help you. So we urge you to place this bill in suspense and hold it. Thank you.
Thank you. So those are the 2 speakers in opposition. Now you will be able to say your name and your organization in your position. That is it.
My name is Josh Hartz, spokesperson for the Coalition to Save Landline Telephones. Thank you, Madam Chair, and a committee.
That's all. We're just saying name and organization. That's all. Thank you, sir. Moving on to additional people opposed.
Kevin Modis, California Brain Tumor Association. The AT&T is lying about the number of landlines out there.
Sir, that's what you get. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I know Mitch is going to get us back on track.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, Mitch Seaman with California Labor Federation in strong opposition on both policy and fiscal grounds. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, Ross Nakasone, Blue Green Alliance in opposition. Thank you.
Ignacio Hernandez on behalf of the Consumer Federation of California in opposition.
Michael Nichols, Access Sonoma Broadband, North Bay, North Coast Broadband Consortium. We're opposed to the bills currently written.
Maya Ingram with the ACLU of California in opposition.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Justin Fanz on behalf of the Coalition of California Utility Employees in opposition.
Thank you. Do we have any speakers in support? And I'm sorry I did these backwards.
That's okay.
Not used to not having a presentation. You can come up if you need to. You get 2 minutes. or you can go from there.
Frank Montez with the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce. We're in support of this bill, in support of our small businesses and the consumers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob Gutierrez with the San Joaquin Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, also in support of this bill. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and members. Kate Bell on behalf of the California Retailers Association in support.
Valerie Nera for the California Chamber of Commerce in support.
Andrea DeVoe on behalf of TechNet in support.
Malachi Sekou Amen for the California Urban Partnership. We're in support.
Tony Vernon with the California NAACP. We are in strong support.
Sherry Raisler on behalf of Society for the Blind in support.
Good morning. Kim Reinhelder, Eschaton Foundation, strongly support.
Cameron Haberman of the Muskogee Creek Nation in support.
Good morning. Linda Ng with OCA Sacramento. We're in support of the bill AB 2395. Thank you.
Tyler Haberman, member of the Muskogee Creek Nation in support.
Sheena Hardy, St. John's Program for Real Change in support.
Lucio back for Apapa. We are in support.
Robert John Davenport, Sacramento Regional Conservation Corps. We support.
Preston Dickinson, small business owner in Northern California, strongly support the bill.
Debbie Barrios, small business owner, rural Sonoma County, strongly support the bill.
Sergei Ivannikov, Council for Cross-Cultural Affairs, representing seniors and underprivileged Slavic members in support of this bill. Thank you.
Chris Rosa on behalf of the Silicon Valley Leadership Group in support.
Madam Chairwoman, members, Matt Moretti on behalf of AT&T in support.
Thank you. Department of Finance, no presentation. Are there any questions? Mr. Wagner.
Well, actually, I do. Of Mr. Moretti, I suppose. We heard a charge and have had information passed out to us that says, quite frankly, AT&T is lying. 60% of Californians are using copper landlines. That isn't my understanding of the facts, and I guess I would be interested in your response to that charge, since we didn't have a presentation from AT&T or from anybody in support of the bill. I guess I'd like to hear your response to that.
Our figures don't indicate that, Assemblyman. Essentially, the figures that we've seen them passing around the building include not only traditional copper landline phones or POTS, but also VoIP phones. They are separate technologies. They cannot be mixed. And also the numbers that the opposition passed out throughout the building included a mix of residential and business lines. So we're looking at different figures. There's been about an 85% decline in POTS use in the state of California.
Okay. We're gonna be respectful, or we're gonna leave. Thank you. Are there additional questions?
The only other one that's been raised in opposition that's got some resonance with me is this issue of trying to get the PUC to, within 120 days, act on the alternatives that are proposed to be out there once this bill is implemented. And again, I apologize for putting you on the spot, but we didn't hear a presentation, so I would be curious the sponsor's response to that, what does seem to me to be a short timeline.
I'm sorry. First, I'd like to clarify we're not the sponsor of the bill. We're supportive of the bill. It's author-sponsored.
Thank you.
Separately, your 120-day question on the amount of time that the PUC would have to respond?
It's my understanding under the bill currently, if there are challenges to whether there are alternatives available, once we get to implementation, the PUC would have to act on those challenges within 120 days, if I've got it right from my colleague from Hanford.
Well, I'm not from Hanford,
Where
but
are you from?
Plumas Lake. But
what the hell's that?
Just to clarify, as I understand the language, right now PUC would have 120 days to investigate whether or not there are alternatives available. And if they don't act within 120 days, it's presumed that there are alternatives available. And I think we've all seen the PUC, and expecting them to act in 120 days might be a little ambitious, let's say.
Okay. Would you like to
Yes.
respond?
So essentially, we would have to not only do 3 years of education and outreach to consumers, address by address, but at that point in time, after that's done, we would have to ensure that there's an alternative. We would provide all that information to the PUC. So most of the work's been done. All they would do is an administrative role and determine if that's accurate. They don't have to investigate. That's already been done. And we're not likely to turn in information saying that someone has an alternative if they don't, because we're just going to get told no and that we can't move on with that service.
Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I just want a clarification because I had some people are asking questions. Mr. Lowe had originally pulled this, or had waived presentation on this. When there are speakers in support or opposition that demand to be heard, that is their right during public comment. That is what has happened today. So we heard from the opposition. That's why we don't have a presentation. I feel a little bad that we're putting Mr. Moretti on the spot with some questions.
That's fine, Madam Chair.
Thank you. But I want to be clear that it is the public's right to still comment on an item, even if, and Mr. Lowe was contacted to let him know he could come down and present, but he has waived presentation. So for the people who have been asking on here how this came about, I did want to clarify that. Mr. Bigelow, did you have a question? Mr. Quirk.
Thank you. So I don't think you can pass a law that says buggy whips should continue to be manufactured. However, my main concern, so in general I'm supportive of the bill. However, my main concern is there's no way for the PUC to do a check. All the information is information you have. All they can really check is that your paperwork is in order. I think there's a much simpler way to do this, which is to simply say AT&T will guarantee that there's service, and the PUC doesn't have to do anything. And if when you you turn off POTS and you find out somebody doesn't have service, then you're going to have to figure out a way to get it to them, or any other or any other entity that wants to discontinue its POTS service. I just don't see that the PUC process adds anything to this, and there certainly are costs.
Do I have a chance to respond?
Yes.
We view this as a complete administrative role. This is just to verify that another service, an alternate service, does exist, and the PUC is privy to that information.
All right. Is there any other questions? This is a suspense candidate. Thank you, Mr. Moretti, for filling in. We now are going to move to the consent calendar. Is there a motion on consent calendar? A motion by Mr. Obernolte, a second by Mr. McCarty.
AB 1944 Jones and AB 2365 Gibson.
And that gets out on an A roll call. Now we're going to, the Madam Secretary is going to read the bills that have been moved to suspense.
1556, 1562, 1683, 1755, 2040, 2140, 2181, 2184, 2334, 2392, 2395, 2472, 2490, 2518, 2625, 2630, 2647, 2676, 2768, 2817, and 2818.
That's it. That concludes the Appropriations Committee. We are adjourned.